inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light. It's shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live. It's what I'm living for. Deep inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light. It's shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live. It's what I'm living for. Deep inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light. It's shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live. It's what I'm living for. Deep inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light. It's shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live. It's what I'm living for.
Well, good morning and welcome, everyone. Yes, how about a round of applause for Maria Christina and Luis on drums. Well, welcome. We have lots of fresh energy, lots of peeps here from off island visiting us and new people. So welcome, everybody. My name is Michelle May, and I'm on the Board of Trustees, and I'm going to share some things that we've got going on here at the center. And we have lots going on, including today. So today, after service, we always have a little bit of fellowship time, but we're also going to be having our Women's in Consciousness gathering and then the Men's Mindful Treehouse. So feel free, we invite you to stay after if you'd like to do so. The boys go find a place outside, and we stay in the AC. Yay! Also, another event that's happening here on island today, and it's actually lots of different communities gathering for this. It's the Pathways for Peace, which happens every year. This is going to be at Lidgate at the Big Pavilion, and it happens from 2 to 4. And they have lots of different things that are going to be happening. There's music and refreshments. They do usually a couple talks and some prayers. So it's a really great gathering to, again, collectively help raise consciousness around peace. So it's called Pathways for Peace, and I believe there's also a flyer out back.
There's also a puppet show, and I get to be one of the puppeteers.
All right, so we have someone famous in our midst, Dr. Reverend Peggy Price, who's going to be a puppeteer, she was saying. So they're going to have a puppet show. And actually, speaking of Dr. Reverend Peggy Price, she is going to be having her workshop next Friday. So if you don't mind waving again, or standing actually, so those who are new. Yes, she's going to be, it's a two-parter, so it starts Friday evening and goes in, and then again on Saturday. You do need to be here for both. It's called There Is a Field, and it's all about conflict resolution, how to build better skills, how to have skills, working with other peoples, and it starts Friday from 6:30 to 9, and then Saturday 9 to 3. So it is $75 for both days, and she was sharing last week that it's pretty much an 8 class put into 2 days. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be insightful. It's going to be very nourishing and enriching. And there is at the back table, there is a sign-up sheet. And if you would like to pay, you could also see Ron or Roseanne in the bookstore after service. And we do, in the bookstore, also have new Science of Mind magazines that have a really great article about Ernest Holmes, who is the founder of Science of Mind and Spirit. And then the following week, we have Spiritual Cinema Night. We do this once a month, the last Friday, and the movie this time is going to be The Truth is in the Stars. So you want to mark your calendar for 6:30 on September 29th. We also have flyers out back. The Revs are going to be doing a teen program for theater. So it's not just folks that are in Science of Mind or in CSL. It's anybody in the community that have teenagers. If you know of anybody who have teenagers, if you know any teenagers, if you work somewhere that have teenagers, you might be catching the theme that we're looking for teenagers. But we do have some flyers to pass out. Also, if you have a place where you work where you can even just post the flyers, that's always helpful too. We've got some on different bulletin boards, but we definitely want to share the word so we can get teenagers here and have a theater program with the Revs, because we need teenagers for this to happen. So we want it to happen. All right, well, thank you for, we want teenagers. Did you catch that? Teenagers? Okay. Well, thank you for your kind attention. We have lots going on. Everything is in your program that I shared about. And I'd like to introduce Reverends Rita and Reverend Patrick.
Thank you, Michelle.
Aloha, everyone. There's great energy in the room. I can feel it. I can see some faces that I haven't seen in a while. Welcome home, welcome home, welcome home. And so,
Flowers are so beautiful. Who brought these flowers?
Karen, give it up for the flowers early because they are just beautiful. Oh.
Thank you for sharing.
So, this is a time that we do every Sunday to take some time for peace. And since this is International Day of Peace, which is funny that we choose one day, but I think that's just because we want to focus. Because as we know, every moment is an international day and moment of peace. So we take a moment to just sit in silence, not just to sit in silence, but to actually activate that peace that is within us, that's where it starts, right here, right now, and it activates out into this wonderful atmosphere, into the world, into our planet. So join us for this moment of silence. And in that beautiful silence, just take that peace everywhere we go from moment to moment to moment to moment. And so it is. Yes. You look beautiful in that blue, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. So welcome again to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. And I'm Reverend Rita, and that's Reverend Patrick. And we have Maria Christina over here on the piano and guitar, and Luis will be up here later. And we have a whole wonderful group of people here ready to enlighten and serve and be here for you today. So we're grateful that you're here in our center, and knowing that you've entered a sacred space that we do our best to keep sacred, and knowing that right where we are, what we practice is that the divine presence. So what's more sacred than that, than a divine idea in the mind of God, as Ernest Holmes said, which is what you are. So we just recognize that and accept ourselves as that, and know that as we think from that highest place and bring that highest place into our lives, that consciousness of love and peace, that our worlds shift from the inside out, because that's the only place they can shift from, the inside out.
Absolutely. Now, I know that there's some people here for the very first time, and I would just like you to follow this dance routine with me, and I'm just kidding. Okay, could you just could you raise your hand if you're here for the very first time? Oh, my. Oh, that is wonderful. Well, I just want to make sure of who, yeah. So before we have you stand, we do have something that we know about you that we would like to share with everyone. And I have my notes here. And let me see. Oh, yeah. So what we'd like to do is just tell you what we know. How about that? Shall we? You are magnificent. Did you know that already? Yeah, see, we're here to remind you. That's what we're here for. Well, we know that about you. And we know that about you just like we know about peace. And that is because it starts right here. We must know our own magnificence before we can actually know it in another, because we're just mirrors for one another. So this is our lucky day because we're all mirroring one another. So shall we all say it together? I am magnificent. Oh, say it again. It sounded so good. I am magnificent. Now, not that we're going to keep on with the magnificent thing, but we are. there is a camera back there where Rob Jones is standing. He's also a wonderful artist, just throwing that out. There's a camera there that there are people, Sherry and Tom, I know for a fact are watching right now, so let's do a shout out to them. But besides them, there's a lot of people watching
Carrie
international.
is probably out there, I'm sure.
And Carrie, Carrie,
And
there's your husband right here, right
Yep.
here. Safe and sound.
And Tandy.
And Tandy. So what we know about that is that they get to be a part of us every Sunday who tunes in, and it really means a lot to them to be able to get our atmosphere and share it with them. So I think we should let them know who they are, don't you?
Yes.
You are magnificent. Aloha. There we wow. Wow, Patrick's on fire today. Uh-oh, we're only just begun. So we know that, right? So why don't you just look to your left, to your right, up, down, doesn't matter who, and let somebody know that they're magnificent. You're magnificent. Harry, you're magnificent. I love your hat because your hat is magnificent. Wow, so why don't we all stand up with that magnificence and we'll have our opening song, which I think will really kick this into action here. It's in your program, the words.
Away, away, so much loving in the world. Away, away, so much loving in the world. Living together as one under the golden sun. Living together as one under the golden sun. Blow Makani, cleanse my soul. Blow Makani, cleanse my soul. Away, away, so much loving in the world. Away, away, so much loving in the world. Living together as one under the golden sun. Living together as one under the golden sun. Blow Makani, cleanse my soul. Blow Makani, cleanse my soul.
And as we continue in this oneness that is cleansing every moment, something that really doesn't even need to be cleansed because we started with that pure place that has never been touched by anything but good. And that is what we celebrate right here, right now. We have come here on divine purpose. We have come here to remember, to know who we are, to remember that magnificence, and to pass that magnificence on. So I am so blessed for all the new people that have entered this wonderful container of love and peace today. Those who have returned, just like the wonderful prodigal daughters and sons have returned home to remember who and what they are. And I am so in celebration for the gratitude of each and every one of us that dare to remember, dare to be great, dare to remember that each and every one of us is God incarnate right here, right now. So with that, I just say, let's have at it. Let us have this day. Let us have this moment. Let us create this atmosphere of love that doesn't stay in this room, but it goes out into the world. And with that, I release it to the law of my being, knowing that I am that law, that each and every one of us is that law. We are activated from it. As together we affirm, and so it is.
Away, away, so much loving in the world. Away, away, so much loving in the world. Living together as one under the golden sun. Living together as one under the golden sun. Blow Makani, cleanse my soul. Blow
Mahalo.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Malia Reed, and I'd like to invite you to get comfortable in your seats in preparation for our quote today. And if you want, I'd like to invite you to close your eyes if that feels right, and just breathing in that good prana. The quote I'm going to read today is from Paramahansa Yogananda. Today I will open the door of my calmness and let the footsteps of silence enter the temple of all my activities. Today I will open the door of my calmness and let the footsteps of silence enter the temple of all my activities. Enjoy your quiet time. calmness, and let the footsteps of silence enter the temple of all my activities. Today I will open the door of my calmness and let the footsteps of silence enter the temple of all my activities. And what I know is there's one power and one presence for good in the universe, and we can use it. And this power, this infinite intelligence, is everywhere, and it's in everything. It's in the mountains, and the ocean, and the sky, and the stars, and everyone in this room. And this presence is in every person, on every street. It's everywhere. It's in the United States. It's out in the cosmos. And this energy that I call love, that I call infinite intelligence, is all-powerful, all-knowing, and everywhere present. It goes by many names: God, infinite intelligence, Jai. It's everywhere. And what I know is we're all one with this infinite presence. It's everywhere present, and we are one with it, because there is no spot where God is not. So God is in everywhere. It's in everyone, and it's in everything. And I'm so happy today to be here knowing that we are all at one, and that there is perfect harmony in the world. It's loving, it's peaceful, there's beauty in it. We're all living together under the golden sun, and we're just here together. And what I know is all the relationships that we have on planet Earth are harmonious right here and right now. We're living in harmony. And I'm so grateful for that. And what I know is that we also all have the ability to be open and receptive to the abundance that's in the universe. Avalanches of abundance pour down on everyone, and everybody on this planet has enough of everything that they need and more. And I'm so grateful for all the creation and all the creative possibilities and all the creation and everything that we create here and everywhere. And I'm just so grateful for all that is happening right here and right now. And I'm just giving thanks right now in this moment for perfect health and perfect peace on planet Earth. So grateful for this peaceful, loving presence. And I release my word to Allah that always says yes. And as we say together, and so it is.
So we have our chant is in the program, if you'd like to take a peek at that.
We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace. We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Malia. Thank you, Maria Christina.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, everyone. So I just felt that I wanted to just talk about Malia's prayer. And that was what she was giving, for those of you that are not familiar, is the spiritual mind treatment for all of us and for the world. And sometimes people don't understand what that is, and it sounds contradictory when someone's saying there's peace in the world or there's abundance when we don't actually see it. But in spiritual mind treatment, I just want to make this clear. We affirm the solution. We affirm what's really true. Like I said at the beginning, we can't have it on the outside if we don't feel it and know it on the inside. first. Sometimes, so many times, we wait to see it and think that once we see it, everything's going to be okay. But that is not the case. It is from the inside out. And really get that in your, if you choose to accept that idea, I think that what I know from my own experience is things change in your life when you start to affirm it before you see it. So the topic that we're talking about all month long is decisions. And that takes a decision to be able to do that, to be able to affirm something you don't see at first. But what happens is, and that's the topic today, your decision is accepted. It's accepted by who? By yourself, by the law of your being, not something outside of yourself, but the energy within yourself. You could call it the law of attraction or whatever, to bring whatever that is to you, through you, because everything comes through us. Doesn't come from anywhere else. It comes through us as us. We have to become the thing that we choose to be in our life, the thing that we want to manifest in our life. We have to become it before we can experience it, because spirit makes things out of itself. Think about that. It makes things out of itself. It has nowhere else to make it from but itself, and we're all spirit. So that's my little science of mind talk, my little lesson that I just wanted to just felt intuitive to say. And so this month we've been talking about decision. Last week we talked a lot about being an indecision and what that can look like. And I think some people have come up to us and said they realized they kind of were indecision about a lot of things, and it got some clarity. So I hope that this month of decision is really helping people to understand that idea that we have to make a decision if we want anything to happen in our lives the way we want it to happen. So when I'm thinking about this, I used to have a thing called a vision board. How many have made vision boards? Right? And then some of us, we make them and they go into our closet, right? Or we put them somewhere where we can see them. That's the ideal thing to do, because if we look at that vision board, we are actually feeding our subconscious mind, which is the creator of everything in our life, with whatever it is that we want to experience. And so when I was in mental muscle boot camp a long time ago, I took a lot of that mental muscle boot camp. It was called by James Mellon. And we had a week about decisions. And I thought, it's not a vision board, it's a decision board. And when I started calling it a decision board, it became something greater, because I knew that anything that I put up on that board was going to be something that I knew was going to happen, or had already happened really, but that I was going to walk into. So it really changed everything. I have a decision board. It's in the closet now because because everything on it, I have to make a new one, because everything on it really actually has been manifested. So including me sitting by the ocean, I'm amazed. I'm going, I didn't even know I was coming to Hawaii, and there's this whole thing with me by the ocean and everything. And then, did I ever think it would happen this way? That's the other thing. We have to get out of the way of how it happens, because sometimes we dictate, I'm going to be in Malibu. Well, maybe I'm not in Malibu. Obviously, I'm not. Right? So we have to get out of the way of how that's going to happen and be direct and definitive about it, but not outline it. So this week, I had a real awakening. I was reading the book, The Power of Decision by Raymond Charles Barker. I was looking through it. And there's a chapter within the chapter, it talks about expectations. Yes. So your decision is accepted, but there's expectations that still are there on your part. So what are you actually expecting? So I did this journal writing one day, and I started to write down, we're going to work on it in women's group. I really started to write down, not fooling myself, not saying what the nicey stuff that I thought, but actually what was I really expecting? I was just amazed. I was amazed at how I was limiting myself in my expectations. I know better than that. But the good thing is I can change it, because I can start to meditate and contemplate on the more. that I want for my life. So I went through things like, what do I expect about my health? Now I have pretty good expectations for my health. Not that I don't get sick sometime, but I do. But for the most part, I think I believe in health, and I believe I'm a healthy person. And if I get something or I experience some kind of illness, I pretty much have a positive attitude that I will eventually get through it, and I'll be all right. So I have a good expectation of health, and I believe it about other people too when they come to me. I love to know the truth about people's health. I just love to know it. And when somebody asks me to pray for their health, I do not let it go until they tell me that everything's okay. So you're supposed to treat until you demonstrate. That was something I didn't know before. I thought you treated and it was, well, yeah, it is, but it's the time and process that it takes you to totally change your mind about it. When the click goes in, and I know you're going to talk about the click, so I won't go there. But anyway, so health. Then I went into wealth, and I was like, oh, and you can all go through your minds with this when I'm talking. What did I really think about wealth? Interesting. I was like, I think you still think you'll always have enough, you'll always be okay, but you really think you'll ever be wealthy. And I went, you know what? I really need to work on that area. Do I want to be wealthy? Is there anything wrong with being wealthy? No. Some people, and I do great getting by. I do great. I always have what I need. I've always, when I put my mind to it, it's there. I don't really worry about money at all. But do I want to be wealthy? And I had to look at that. What do I think about the center? Like, what am I expecting? Am I expecting that vision over there that's out in the lobby area? Do I really believe? Am I expecting it? And I'm one of these people who believes in process. I don't know about if anybody else has that. I believe like you go from this step to that step to that step. That's okay. It's all right. So I looked at that. I looked at like relationships. I go, oh, well, what do I expect out of relationships? I'm pretty good at relationships. I would say that, I'm pretty good at them. I've always had good ones. And I am a good person to be in relationship with. And because I care and I'm loving and I take care of myself. So these are really good questions to ask yourself because you'll see really what you're really expecting. So you say, oh, I've made a decision. I've decided I'm going to have this, but are you really expecting it to show up? Are you really? And it'll show up at the level of your expectation. It will. It'll show up, but it'll show up at the level of your expectation. So it's good. It's like so good. That's what I love about this philosophy is that it's so practical. It's so spiritual, but it's so practical because one of the things with Ernest Holmes, and if you read the article in the magazine there, if you get the magazine, is he wanted people to be able to do things with their life. He wanted them to be able to not just sit on a cloud somewhere thinking about it. He actually wanted them to be able to take their spirituality and bring it into their lives and make it work in their lives because we're here on planet Earth for a reason. And that, for me, that reason is to express more of that God self that I am. So, which brings me to the other thing I learned today, and it was, not today, this week, was about consciousness. It just hit me. Because we would have better expectations for ourselves if we really believed we were consciousness. Now, I don't know what that word means to you, but to me, it means my mental awareness of who and what I am. It means my conscious mind, what I'm really thinking all the time, my awareness of myself, of planet Earth, of my relationship to spirit, to God, whatever you want to call it. It's my consciousness. Now, if we really believed we were really consciousness, we would understand, and it's something to meditate on, is that consciousness is unlimited. Consciousness doesn't know about form. It only knows greatness. It only knows infinity. It only knows eternality. It only just knows creation. It's just like, it's open, and it needs to be. That's where our direction comes from. That's how we direct our lives, is from that. So the bigger consciousness we have, the bigger our lives become, and the more fruitful and blessed and less stressed out they become, the more we expand that thing called consciousness that we are. And I think that's what spiritual evolution to me is all about, is about expanding my consciousness and living from a higher place at all times. We say it at the beginning of the service. So I don't know. How do you feel about that? Think about it. You don't have to answer me. But maybe you think you don't need any anything in this area that you've got it, and that was great if you do. But I believe that there's more. There's always more. Even though, and I don't mean it like I heard somebody say, yeah, you know, you're just trying to get things and blah, blah. No, it's not about stress. It's about opening up. Opening up. Raymond Charles Barker said, to say I am consciousness is self-definition in the timeless, spaceless sense. It has neither name or number. It needs neither location nor means. It is completeness. It includes all process, but is not a process. It is pure being. And I love this. It opens the trap doors to individuality and eternity. So I'm just like picturing this like trap door that's just opening and I just kept shut. That I get to fall into, sorry, lost my microphone there. I want you to hear what I'm saying. I get to fall into it and just live from that place. The trap doors, where is it? It opens the trap doors to individuality and eternity. It knows no dimension. It doesn't need them. It operates by means of them, but is never conditioned by them. See, so it operates by the means of being in the physical world, but it doesn't need them. It's not conditioned by them, I should say. It's not conditioned by them. So if you're looking out and you're going, that's all I can do with my life because of what I see in front of me, you got it all wrong. It's not conditioned by that. And it is you, it's the you that you are. It's the you that you are. I am consciousness. Say it with me. I am consciousness. I am pure consciousness. Pure consciousness. Yeah, and that means your consciousness has never been touched by anything really that happened to you, ever. It only knows the present moment. It is not the you that that your educated consciousness has taught you as being. It is what you are in God. And he gives this great example about if we want to prove to ourselves that we're consciousness, think about when you go to bed at night. You go to sleep, right? Some of us dream. I do. You have a dream. It could be a bad dream or a good dream, depending on what's going on, right? You travel to places you've never been, or you've been, and then you wake up and you've never left your bed. Who's doing that? We're consciousness. And I think once we understand that, Ernest Holmes says, if you want to get anything, get understanding. If you understand that about yourself, when you make a decision and the decision is accepted, those expectations will grow. They'll grow because you'll understand that you're not limited by what you see in front of you. You're not limited by whatever, the sickness you have, your bank account, anything. You're a pure consciousness. And I'm going to leave us with that. I'm going to leave us with that. Next week, I'll go into this other thing I was going to go into, but I'll save it for next week. But I totally appreciate it. And so decision accepted, expectations, realize your consciousness, and watch your world just expand. Namaste.
Makialaele o Yesu, ihalavai aku ai. Me ke kanaka o pio hano hano, kaulana I ka vai vai. Pani mai e ka o pio, e kuhaku mai kai. E aho I kau e ana aku ai, iloa ai ke olamau. E Hawaii lilo,
Mahalo. Ah, that's beautiful. I was just thinking when she was singing how isn't language beautiful? Because even if you do not understand the words, which you let us know later, when you don't understand the words, you understand them. Or I wouldn't be sitting there going, oh, yeah. Like I totally wasn't being embraced by the words. There's a feeling that goes behind that. So thank you for that. Decision accepted. Since we're on to Raymond Charles Barker, I like to start with a little quote from him. Either you're going to love him and want to read his book a million times before this month is over, you're going to be like, oh, thank God, what's October giving us? Raymond says, I dare you to think in great terms. I challenge you to dream a great dream. Nothing is impossible to those who decide upon possibility. The infinite responds by corresponding, by becoming the thing you have determined shall be. And the question and the wonderful exploration of this is that he says the infinite responds corresponding by becoming the thing you have determined shall be. Not what your husband, your mama, your daddy, God on a cloud, not any of that. What have you decided is going to be in your life as your experience? I was thinking, always, you know me, I'll sidetrack, but I'll always get back on the highway. Here we go. I was thinking of this one thing that happened today that if you've been around the last 3 weeks, I've been what I called under the weather. Well, and then under the weather is that wonderful ship talk of those sailors that when they get a little seasick, they go underneath down to the bottom until they feel better. Well, I'd like to let you all know I'm at about 110%, so just letting you know. But what's behind that is that, yeah, I spent some time down there before I came back up. But what's interesting to me is the other day I was getting out of the shower, and I do my best thinking there, by the way. And I said, how are you feeling? If you can't check in on yourself, who will? I said, all week I've been saying, I'm about 75%. I'm about 8. Now, who gave me that chart is beyond anything that I'm 75%. Rob says to me at the art, how are you feeling? About 82. I'm about 82%. And I'm thinking, what does that mean when I'm feeling 100%? And it really dawned on me because I'm a self-thinker. And what it means is that I didn't want to commit to being 100% well. And we are in a philosophy that depends on us being 100% aware of our minds and of our decision making. But it's real safe to stay at 85, 90. Because then this is what I got. So I went, okay, if you're going to play truth or dare, Mr. FEren, let's play it. So what does that mean, 100%? Well, that means that you get to stop talking about not being well. Because now the story ends. It's been a rough couple weeks, 3 weeks, goody. But guess what? When you're 100%, there's nothing more to talk about. But here was the other part of it. And this goes across the board, not just in health, but in wealth and anything. When I take 100% responsibility for my actions, I also have to take that possibility that's ingrained in some of us about being disappointed. So I'm up here saying, I'm 110, yeah. And then what happens if I go home and my stomach hurts again? Ooh. So we're fear of that disappointment or fear of accepting. I think it's accepting that full 100% responsibility that says I am well. And guess what? I was never not well. I just returned home to my natural state. How do you know when a decision that you have really made has been made, that it's stuck? Have you ever done that? I mean, you make decisions, right? I mean, how do you know that you're going to follow through with that decision? How do you know? Well, I'm going to tell you, because that's why we've all gathered today, is to let you know that. I mean, how many times I know for myself have I made a half-hearted decision on a Sunday night, because it always starts on Monday, right? If you're ever going to lose any weight, it always starts on Monday after the weekend's over and everything, everything starts then. I'm going to get my financial stuff together. I'm going to start my relationship. I'm going to, Monday morning. Monday. Decision. Ready. Ate everything I could possibly eat Sunday night. Now I'm ready to go. I have tipped the refrigerator over. I have come, and then Monday morning, I'm ready, decision ready to go. And then on Tuesday morning, you feel the fizzle. You know, excitement, decision has not been accepted. For me, when the decision gets accepted, I get a click. It's like this, click. It's so, I got it right now when I said it, my whole like God bumps went all over me. When I got a click. That means there's no possibility that anything could get in the way, and it doesn't matter. I remember I had I'm going to share with you, of course. I had a 25-year love affair. Just at the tail end before I met Rita. And it was this wonderful thing called tobacco. 25 years I spent with those babies. And it was a love affair indeed. Has anybody ever had the experience of cigarettes in their life? Yeah. Woo, my brothers and sisters. Yeah. So I quit. I made a decision about 120 times before I actually quit. And so I got the click. And I quit because I realized that it was a love affair. And when I looked at this cigarette, it wasn't, I saw all the pictures. I went, all the films about what happens, that mattered not. But I looked at this little cigarette and I thought, you mean the world to me. And we have a problem here. Because you ain't real, man. You're a cigarette. I depend on you. You're my best friend. You're my lover. And not that I tell tales out of school, but I just know that whenever you were in that wonderful lovemaking, that cigarette called you right there. Right after that, I'm going to tell you. I can't even believe I'm talking about it. Cameras, stop it. If it's your first time, it's how I always am. But that was the moment, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to share because this is exciting. No, Rita says it's midnight, right? Because I have only till midnight on Sunday night to quit, right? So I go, this is it. I'm quitting. She goes, what are you doing? I go, I'm going out to the lanai. I'm going to have my last cigarette. Because I love drama anyway, right? So, and then she goes like, this is Rita. Do you want me to come with you? This is a cigarette I'm talking about, not a life-changing thing. Do you want me to come with you? No. I need to say goodbye on my own. What is wrong with me? That's how addicted and how much the decision to smoke was there. And I say it with absolute laughter now and love. And every time I forgave myself for doing that, I got closer to quitting instead of condemning myself. So I went out there, and I'm going to tell you, I have never smoked a cigarette quite like that before. I mean, we're talking about, and then as it started to get down to its last one, you're like, oh, baby, I love you. Now, and you know what, and this is filmed. This will be on archives the rest of my life. Just so, and it's live. Oh, and it's live thanks to Michelle LeMay. Give it up for her. Okay. But I got the click. I said enough is enough. And when I woke up the next morning and I heard I'm ready. Honey, you were just kidding last night, weren't you? You really do want to smoke another cigarette? And I said, you know I do. But I got the click. I'm done. And a lot of times we think that because we've made the decision and that that's it. It is decision, 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 decision. You want a powerful relationship? You claim it, the click comes, and then it's decision by moment, by moment, by moment. It took me a lot of clicks to 20 years later to have been without a cigarette. Thank you very much. But a cigarette is just an example of the many things that we become addicted to in our lives. Substances, yeah, perhaps. But we're addicted to many things. Pain, things that have that fool us because we can't even see them. Addicted to our insecurities, addicted to that I'm not enough. And this is another way to find out if you've really got the click. If you're still asking everybody their opinion about your decision, pretty much the click has not happened. Once you have made a decision and you've accepted it, I don't need your opinion any longer. I know what I have to do. And then every time it comes up, then I have to make another decision. Oh, I made a decision to stop smoking. Oh, yeah. I made a decision to embody health. And so when health doesn't show up, I say, oh, I guess you didn't hear me. I made a decision. I got the click. I got the click. And it's so, the click to me is God. I have to make the decision on my own. I have to make the decision on my own. But I am not alone in my decision. That's when I was able to really quit smoking, because I thought, I have to say yes to it. I have to accept it. But I got all the power of the universe that created the darn cigarette in the first place. What, you think God isn't a part of the creation? And it can't be there if it ain't. If it's there, then it's a part where God is. A year ago, today, my last illustration of clicks and how important it is. A year ago, and I'm glad Melissa's actually in the audience, a year ago, a decision was made to fly out to Los Angeles. Can you believe it's been an entire year? I saw it pop up on Facebook, where Judah, her husband, and if Judah's watching, aloha, was going through a very, very, very experience of cancer. And the operation was there, and intuitively we decided, Rita and I, that one of us should fly out. So I flew out for Judah and for Melissa, and to be there as support. And he had made a decision to go out there and to do all that, and everything came in to support him. All the doctors, all the hands of God were all over the place. Everything was lining up, right? And here I was too. I mean, there's nothing better than being in a really critical place and then your minister arrives. It's like, if you were raised Catholic, you know how frightening that can be. But, so you flew all the way out from Kauai. Thanks, Patrick. Yeah, I'm just here for support. But if you were a Catholic, it would be last rites, and this was not last rites. But what I got from Judah's story is that I remember everything happening, the operation going through, and all the prayers, and we were very relieved. And Melissa and I spent a lot of time in that cafeteria talking. Really good salads, by the way, at USC in California. If you're ever out there at the hospital, go get it. The salads are. But he's lying in bed. And you know me, I got to take it to the very, very edge. And he's, well, the operation was a success. And I said, but I'm more curious. Thank you for the doctors. Thank you for the practitioner team in California. Thank you for the prayer container we had here. But who had the final decision, I asked Judah as he was lying in his bed. Who made the final decision to accept life? And it's great. We are supporting each other moment to moment. And he said, because he knew that would be the right answer for me as I was standing there. But he said, I did. The very final word will always be ours. And it may not feel like it. You lose people and things it doesn't appear it. But we're not looking at, do not judge by appearances because they are fooling you. What we're doing is remembering that we have the final decision. So somewhere in his world, he decided, I am going to live. So let's give it up for Judah in case he is watching. The click. So whenever you're going through anything, this is what I ask. Try it in your own life. Find something. It doesn't have to be climbing Mount Everest. It doesn't have to be big like that. It could be as simple as asking for a raise. Make a decision that I want to live in a body that supports me. It can be as much as I want to stop being so grumpy. It can be anything. And you want to start being more loving or whatever it is. But this is how you know. You make a decision and you say, this is what I choose to experience in my life. And ask for the click. Say, I want the click. I want to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that my word has power. My word has power. And just like I did with cigarettes, you wake up and you say, oh my God, I lit up last night. I lit up a lot of times before the final click. We are designed inside of us to click it at any time. That's who we are. So this week I have an assignment for you, which I hardly ever give. I want you to decide something that you want in your life. And I just want you to entertain the click. And remember that when you've made the decision, the click, that you are not alone with that decision. You have the entire power of the universe, just like Judah did, just like I did, just like you did with a million things in your lives that your minds are going, oh yeah, absolutely. You are not alone. You take that power that you are, but there's one little ingredient we don't want to forget. Your word has power. It is the power of good God, whatever you want to call it. So, before I close, hold your heart, if you choose, and say after me, my word has power. My word has power. My word is power. Click. Namaste. Click.
That was great. That was really good.
Were you scared I was going to tell us like tales out of school or something?
I don't get scared about you anymore. I just figure it is going to happen. So, expectations.
Click.
Okay. That was great. No, that was awesome. All right. So, I got a lot out of this decision thing.
Yeah.
It's really powerful. Whew. Okay. So, let's turn to our programs. This is our time of giving and knowing that as we give, we do receive. It is very true. And I like to think that I like to give to our spiritual source, my spiritual source, which is the center for me. And also our center gives out back 10% to different places on the island and in the world that spiritually nourish others, sometimes to individuals. And so you know that 10% of what you give today is going out into the world.
And we gave to the hurricane
we did
relief
give to hurricane relief
last month.
this month. And some other things. So, all right. So would you turn to your program and let's just really listen to these words in your heart. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I give freely today, knowing that it turns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. God is the source and substance of my supply.
Ron, could you get the kids ready to come in? Thank you.
Well, I'll get it when it comes back up. All right.
Thanks, Michelle.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful.
And I am so grateful for all the abundance that's arrived here today and all the abundance that's everywhere on the planet. And I'm so grateful for CSL Kauai and the way that we give 10% to any place that needs it in the world. And I just know that it comes back 120 million times percent back, no matter where we are, no matter what we do. When we shine our light and we send the prosperity and the love out, it always comes back. And I am just so grateful for everybody here and all that you give. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Malia. Thanks. All right. Thank you, everyone, so much. Thank you, everyone online also that supports CSL Kauai. Come on up, kids.
I'm grateful for
Whoa,
all
look
these
at all these
kids
angels.
today. Woo!
I see
Uh-oh.
some. I see some.
I
new,
see Itukai.
some new
I
faces.
see Itukai.
Itukai. Hi, Everett.
Look at this.
This is Janice and George and their crew.
Who's your team today there?
Hi, I'm going to let these guys say their names, and if they want, they're going to tell you something that they're persisting in. Today we talked about a lot of good stuff, but one of our main focus was talking about persistence. And we did puzzles, and we worked on a big puzzle together, which we didn't finish, but we will save it until next week and get it done. So would you guys share your name? And if you want to share something you're persisting in your life, you can, or just pass it to the next person.
My name is Everett.
My name's Itukai.
My name's Ruby.
My name's Lily. My name's Sasha.
And I can tell you these kids, they are awesome. I won't say who, but some are working on some really challenging moves in gymnastics that to advance to the next level that they're really having to persist in. And yeah, that's the one that, and ballet and things like that they're working on.
Oh, that's wonderful. And before, we always like to do a blessing, not just for these wonderful, but we like to do it for all of the children. But Sasha, I have to tell you that I love that on your shirt. Always wear your invisible crown, because we are royalty. Give it up, Sasha. That was great. We are royalty. So let's take a moment right here, right now, to just bathe in this absolute royalty that we all are, and know that these beautiful these light beings called our youth, they are just growing and growing from this place of consciousness. And these wonderful, wonderful light beings are our teachers. Did you know you are our teachers? And I know. Sasha, wow. But all I know is that it is absolute blessing. We know that we take this wonderful atmosphere and we take it out into the world. And we just say, yes, yes, yes. As together we affirm. And so it is. Thank you, George. Thank you, Janice.
Woo.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so how great. That's wonderful to see all those kids. We've been affirming children, calling out to them, saying, there's a home here for you. We love you.
Teens that start coming through that.
So if you would like, there will be practitioners up here to pray the solution with you of something you might want to experience in your life. And I'm not sure who they are today. Reverend Diane and Malia will be up here. And so just feel free to come up and take advantage of that and speak with them and receive that, yes. And there's also a box in the back if you want to just write something you would like to experience down, then we will pray on it this week. So.
And as you walked in, we used to have it up here, but we have that wonderful vision decision board with our future site for CSL Kauai, and underneath it you'll see a little what we call our funding, what do we call it, honey?
Building fund.
Building fund, thank you. And so just feel free to be the change that goes inside there. There you go. All right. Thank you, Sue. Thank you for that. I remember. I knew I'd get it up here sometime.
So I think I've covered everything. If I haven't, come and let me know.
So let's stand up, shall we?
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
I am so grateful for this beautiful, bright, sunny, shiny day that we've had together today. I'm grateful for everything that has transpired here today. I'm grateful for the changes in consciousness that I know have transpired here today. I'm grateful for all the great decisions that everyone is making for their lives and for the planet itself, and I know that that is manifested, that it is accepted. So with that gratitude, I'm also grateful for so many things. I'm grateful for the people that served today, for Michelle for her announcements and for being the head of the Malama team today, for Angela, Stephanie for joining her, for Malia for her beautiful treatment today, and for her beautiful meditation and that quote. Thank you so much for that. It uplifted me. I thank Rob back there who keeps us connected to the cosmos with his live streaming. Yes, thank you for that. And Jonathan for making sure that I'm heard and Patrick's heard and that I stand in the right spot. Thank you for that. And thank you to the flowers. Whoa, yeah, from Karen. Thank you for those beautiful flowers. It just hit me with just such beauty. And to Ron Stover and his team back there. I think Elizabeth's back there. Who else? Is Analia back there? Whoever's back there helping Ron. Saratina, yes, mahalo, mahalo to the people that help us and serve us every Sunday. And to Maria Christina, yay. And for your beautiful music all together. And for Louise for just jumping in and giving us the beat. Thank you, Louise. And to Janice and George for serving the youth. Thank you so much. And if I've forgotten anybody, I say mahalo, mahalo, mahalo to everyone, and especially to you all for being here today and lending your consciousness. So I'm just grateful, and I know that we take this feeling that we are having, this idea of decisions out into our lives, and we expand those decisions, and we feel that click. And I know it's done, right now and right here as I just say, and so it is.
Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
Thank you, everyone. Aloha.
Mahalo.